Welcome to Codex, a history of video games. I'm Mike Coletta.
And I'm Tyler Osby.
And today we're talking about the best games to play while physically distant.
Yeah, it's not exactly a history of video games kind of thing, but we thought we'd do kind of a discussion episode this week.
Yeah, Codex discussion, the best games to play while physically distant, not socially, because we're getting social.
Although some of these you could socially distance with them as well.
That's true too, if you want to do that. But we've kind of divided it up into three categories. And those categories are single player epics, local multiplayer for you and whoever's with you in your household, and then finally online multiplayer.
Stuff to play with your buddies no matter where they are.
No matter where you are and when you are. That's
Wherever,
right. If you're traveling
whenever.
in time. We can be together? I'm thinking about
Yes.
Shakira. Is that what you're going for?
That's exactly what I was going for.
Perfect. Life is perfect.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll start us out. Single player games, Breath of the Wild.
Oh man, when this game came out, I was physically and socially distant, even though I didn't have to be. I just sat there and played it all day, every day, for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. I've played so much of it so far, and I am like in it. I'm taking a break right now because I feel like if I keep playing it, I'm just gonna get burnt out on it. You know, I'm like, take a break, take it easy. I'm doing DLC stuff right now because I'm pretty much at the point where I could go beat Ganon, but I'm like, no, hold off, have fun, live your life, enjoy yourself. But it's so much fun.
Yeah, that game is all about the journey. It's not about getting to the end. Because if you want, you could run straight to Ganon's castle and beat that game in like 2 hours if you're good enough. But that's not what it's about. It's about seeing the whole world and taking it all in. And the music is good, and the way the music like blends in between like when you kind of come up and over in a hill, like the music sort of changes and like you get a nice vista of good view. It's very cool. Not a game to rush through. It's a game to take your time with. And now that you have all kinds of time because you're just at home, this is the perfect time to play this game.
Now is the time.
Yep.
The perfect time. All right, you want to do the next one? Because it's all you, the next one on that list.
So this is a series that I have been playing or replaying. I've gone back to, and that is the Mass Effect series. Because you got 3, maybe 4 if you're feeling ambitious, like you really want to play Andromeda. You got 3 really, really great single-player RPGs that are all about making choices. So even if you want to play through it more than once, you got all the time in the world to go back, make different decisions, see how the dialogue trees pan out, see what different filter you get on the ending of Mass Effect 3, because that's the only difference in all the endings is just different like color filters on the ending, I guess. People were very mad about that. I think they changed it by now. I think they updated the ending, but when it first came out, that was like the big thing about it that everybody was mad about. But I still think Mass Effect 3 is worth playing, and you got to play the first one and the second one before you get to the third one, because all that stuff is very, very important to the storyline. And the choices you make in the first game affect things that happen in the third game. Same for the second game. So this is the one to play all the way through, and you now have the luxury of getting to play through them one right after the other. You can just binge the Mass Effect series like you're watching Netflix, whereas back in the day, we had to wait like 3 years between these games. And it's like, oh, what happened in Mass Effect 2? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm going to play Mass Effect 3 anyway, and some stuff gets lost. So now you can really appreciate the story and take it all in, you know?
You can power on through it.
That's right.
That's great. Next up, the series in this list of single-player epics is Fire Emblem.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, I play it on DS. It's Fire Emblem Awakening. It's pretty fun. So they have a portable version, but the Switch version, which you've played and I do not own yet, is very good, right?
Yeah, it's very good. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, or as my friends and I like to joke, Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Houses. All about houses.
Fire Emblem 3 : Houses.
Let's talk about houses.
Let's talk about pick your favorite of the 3 ones. That's what you do. You pick a favorite house, and then they fight. Yeah. So you can play through Fire Emblem 3 times because depending on which house you pick, sort of dictates some of the storyline and a lot of the characters that you have to work with when it comes time to go into your battles. So you can play through it in all 3 of the houses. I've picked, I can't remember the name of the house now. It's the red house that is headed by Lady Edelgard. She is the best, and so that's why I picked her house. But I hope to give it a couple more playthroughs so I can play through the blue and yellow houses. I forget who runs those houses.
It's like a school, right? Isn't that the whole thing about it? You're at a school.
There's a little bit of like Persona going on there because it's not quite Persona has like the social links where each sort of social link is its own kind of storyline that sort of is self-contained. But there is definitely like an aspect of getting different students to like you so that they'll join your house or join your crew, and you can like even recruit people from other houses to come join you in battle. So you kind of have to do a little bit of balancing there, which is nice. And you got to keep the people who are already in your house happy, because that's how they level up faster and get better stats, is if they're motivated and excited to be there. And you play kind of like a professor or a teacher there. So there's you also teach your children like different skills that they'll use in battle.
So it's like Pokemon, but instead of training Pokemon, you're training children to fight for you.
That's right. Instead of cruel animal fighting, it's cruel children fighting. Although these aren't like children. They're like late teenagers. They're
totally
they're kind of
expendable.
Adults. Right, totally expendable. And if you, depending on how you play, you can play with permadeath, which is not how I like to play, because I don't like it when people die.
Oh yeah, they have that in the Fire Emblem for me too, and I'm like, my heart can't do that. Can't handle that right now.
I think playing with permadeath is not really worth it, because what ends up happening is you just restart the match when someone dies. And so, I mean, I guess if you're going through it for a playthrough where everybody makes it through every single battle and that's just how you want to play, I guess that's fine. But I don't have time for that. Even in social distancing or physical distancing mode, I don't have time for that. So people are going to die in these battles, and it's fine. They're going to come back at the end, and I'm okay with that.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
The next one in our lineup is Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3. Doom 64.
Yes, all the Dooms are very, very good games. But
They're
specifically 2016 and Eternal, which we've been playing recently. Both of us.
I've been playing it. I've almost beat it. I'm on the last level. I'm doing it a day at a time, listener, because I don't want to burn through it so fast.
Me too.
I love it so much.
It's so intense that I can only play one level at a time before I just like my heart can't take it anymore. I'm just like,
oh man,
I don't want to burn out on it. And I'm about halfway through now, I think, of Doom Eternal.
I was banging my head against the keyboard today because I kept dying. There's a certain kind of enemy that is the bane of my existence, and I hate fighting them, and I always have to do multiple tries to fight them, and I don't think you hit it yet, but it drives me crazy.
Oh, I think I've seen people talking about that online.
Yeah, you'll know it when you hit it, and you have to fight it for the first time, and you're just like, this is really, really annoying, and it's still so fun, like, because it's a challenge, and you beat it, and you feel so good about yourself. It's one of those, like, you earned it,
Yeah, I get that.
I definitely signed up because I have Amazon Prime, so therefore I have Twitch Prime, and I have the Unicorn Doomslayer outfit, which is really
I need to do
funny.
that. I need to link my accounts because that looks really funny.
Because you don't see it, and then a cutscene pops up, and you forget you're dressed like a unicorn, and it's amazing. They're like, the Doomslayer, and you're like, hey, I'm a unicorn.
They really missed a marketing opportunity to do like a Animal Crossing skin for Doom, and then a Doom skin or Doom something in Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
Because they came out on the same day.
Is Doom Eternal on Switch?
Not yet. I think it will be.
Oh,
okay. I think it got delayed.
That should be something they do when they release it on Switch. Do an Animal Crossing skin, because I've been loving those crossover comics or memes. Or I saw a video that was so funny.
The internet loves it, and like Doom already. I mean, they've got a unicorn skin in there, so Doom is obviously not taking itself too seriously. And I think it would be funny for Animal Crossing to do something similar as well.
It's so good. The next one on the list hasn't even come out yet, but it's going to come out soon, right? Very soon.
Well, before we get to that one, though, now that we're talking about Animal Crossing, we should add that to the list, and I can't believe we didn't add it to the list. Because that is a great game to sit at home and play, because you play by yourself. It's very single player in that aspect, but you can visit other people's towns, and other people can visit your town or island, I guess, the new one. I actually haven't played the new one. Most of my Animal Crossing experience is from the GameCube one, so that's kind of what I'm going off of here. But it's so relaxing, and like in times like now where it's like you turn on the news and it's just not anything that is helpful to maintaining your sanity, or it's not calming, you can just sit back, you can play some Animal Crossing, you can become in debt to Tom Nook and be paying him back for the rest of forever. And that's all we're doing here, is just trying to make sure that Tom Nook gets his payments.
I don't know much about Tom Nook, but he seems kind of like a swindler to me.
Yeah, it's at least in the very first Animal Crossing. I think this is how it works in other ones too, but there's definitely a bit of like, hey, I didn't ask you for that, and now you did it for me, and now I owe you money, and it feels bad. But also, he does some pretty sweet home renovations for you, and I probably would have bought those home renovations anyway. And he sort of gives them to you up front. So that's kind of nice, I guess.
You know what, Tom Nook? Never mind. I take it all back. You're not a swindler.
Yeah, he's definitely taking advantage of folks, though. Like, because what if you didn't want it? Or what if you couldn't afford to pay him back? You know? He just goes ahead and does it anyway and then makes you pay him back. Come on, man.
Tom, I take back my take back. You're still a swindler.
Yeah, he's a swindler.
All right. The next one, though, this is a game that hasn't come out yet, but it's going to very soon.
Right. Comes out in about 2 weeks.
Ooh, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or really any Final Fantasy, in this case.
That's true. And that spreads to the wider, like, RPG scope, too, right? Like, any single-player RPG is good to play right now. But if you're trying to play new games, we're still going to be in this mode on April 10th when Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out. So you might as well pick that up on your PS4 and start playing it. I think it comes out on Xbox and PC like a year after it comes out on PS4. So if you're an Xbox or PC player, then I guess you got to wait a year. But who knows? Maybe we'll still be in quarantine by then.
Who knows? But yeah, that one's good. And I think on the topic of single-player RPGs, any Elder Scrolls game is great for this time of year, for sure.
Yep, Elder Scrolls, Fallout 2, especially 3, New Vegas, and 4. Those are great. You can wander the wasteland and do multiple playthroughs with different character types.
I looked fondly at my copy of Fallout 4 like a couple days ago because it's on my shelf now, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I played you so much. I got all the achievements in that game. I love that game so much, but I'm like, not going to boot it. There's too many other games to play. Yeah,
I didn't really get too much into Fallout 4 the way I did into 3 and New Vegas. I played a lot of those. I really loved 3, really loved New Vegas, but 4, it was the settlement building minigame that really, I did not like it. And
I get it.
I hear there are mods that will remove it, so maybe I should give it another shot.
There are mods that will remove it, and there are also mods that will remove a really annoying repetitive quests that the Minutemen give you or the Institute, like wherever you side with, give you these really annoying quests, and you can just shut that down immediately with a mod.
Procedurally generated too, right? They're like not even real quests. They're just like, I don't know, go here, get me some rad roach butts. And you're like, okay, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. It's exactly what it is. And he'll give you a very small amount of caps that means nothing. So yeah. All right. Local multiplayer and co-op. First thing first, we're talking about games Tyler and I play together, Gears of War series.
Yep. We're 4 acts through Gears of War 3. So we're making our way through that whole series. And I got to say, it's been a lot of fun to play it, especially like us playing on casual mode. So it's not even hard. It's like kind of relaxing in that sense, even though it's a really intense game with chainsaws and bad guys and blood and gore. It's been really fun to play on casual mode.
It's just a great game to chat to. We chat online, but if you have someone you're living with, like a significant other or a friend or a roommate that you don't really talk to, but you want to get to know better, this is a perfect time.
Yeah. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. Let's play some Gears of War.
That's what you do. You pull out Gears of War and say you want to get to know each other better. And if they're not weirded out by that, then you're going to have a really fun time.
Do they grab ammo without asking if you need ammo first? Because that says a lot about their personality.
That really does. Tyler and I ask each other now. Yeah. We really do. Also, do you guys want to open up doors together or kick through doors together or pull switches together or turn valves together? Then Gears of War is the game series for you.
Do you want to make branching choices where you get split up and stop playing together?
Gears of War.
Yep.
We're really selling it right now.
Yeah. Well, we've been nonstop rolling through Gears 1, 2, 3, and I don't see us stopping anytime soon because we're not really playing a whole lot of Destiny.
Yeah, we take breaks in between games for sure, but usually it's like we play an act a night, Yeah. It's pretty good. It's really good. The next one in our games list is Borderlands because they have amazing co-op.
Yeah, and there's 4 of them to choose from. The first Borderlands is great. Second one, I think, is really where the series hits its stride.
Yeah, the second one's the best.
It's really good. It's so funny. Like the writing is top notch. All of the gameplay systems are really good. The pre-sequel is like just more Borderlands 2. The writing is almost as good from what little I've played of pre-sequel, but like the gameplay systems are all the same as Borderlands 2. And then actually I started up Borderlands 3 today with my significant other, and we played about an hour of that, and it feels a lot like Borderlands 2 so far.
It really does.
I haven't been able to like really make a great assessment of it or not, but it's been fun, and we had some fun playing it today.
Yeah, it's a good hang to play with people with that game. Another game that's a good hang is Diablo 3.
Yeah. Diablo
This
3
is so
is good.
fun. Oh man, Diablo 3 is such a good game.
I agree. And I think it's even better on console than it is on PC.
Whoa, hot take.
Hot
or
take.
is it lukewarm? We'll
Lukewarm
never
take
know.
here. Playing Diablo is much more fun with a controller than it is with a mouse and keyboard. That's just how I feel. And you know I'm a mouse and keyboard advocate most of the time. When I'm playing
really
first person shooters, I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard. But when it
Every
comes to
time I
Diablo,
see Tyler,
I'm
you have
carrying
a
my mouse and
keyboard-
keyboard around.
Yeah, you have a keyboard strapped to your back and a mouse hanging off your belt loop.
Yep.
Ready
That's
to go.
how much I care about mouse and keyboard controls. But
That's right.
got to give credit where credit's due, and some games just aren't built for that. I wouldn't want to play the Tony Hawk series with a mouse and keyboard, and I don't want to play Diablo 3 with a mouse and keyboard either. So it's better on console. And Diablo 4, though, is going to be built for both controller and mouse and keyboard controls on PC. So you'll still be able to play on PC with all your super high graphics settings, but you'll be able to play with a controller when Diablo 4 comes out. And that's what I'm here for.
That sounds amazing. I got Diablo 3 kind of late because I got it when it was on sale on Xbox for like $20, well after it came out. And I blew through that in a weekend. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I've started it so many times and I've never made it past Act 2.
Really? It's really fun to play.
I've spent a lot of time playing it, and I had a friend before, I always remember playing Diablo 3 it was like shortly before I moved to Los Angeles. I had a friend who had just picked it up on PlayStation 3, and we played so much of that game like the summer before I moved to Los Angeles, and now when I play Diablo, I think about my buddy and how much fun we had that summer playing Diablo.
So good. Next game in our local multiplayer co-op might have, I'm going to say here, one of the best co-op campaigns ever, the Halo series.
Oh, yeah. I fully agree, fully on board with that
Halo
assessment.
2 co-op is a quintessential part of my life, and it's so fun, and everyone should play it. And now you got 2 new versions of Halo 1 and Halo 2 with updated graphics and everything as part of the Master Chief Collection, which is on Game Pass. Grab a friend, sit down, enjoy yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
Shoot
I remember
aliens.
when Halo 2 came out, it was like the biggest video game launch ever at the time. And my friend and I played through that in probably a single, I think we played it like all night and then fell asleep and then woke up and finished it. It was
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had so much fun. And it was like, we went full Halo as well because we were, at this point, it was not ironic to have eat Doritos and drink Mountain Dew while you're playing Halo. It was it was the thing that you did. And we drank so much Mountain Dew and ate so much Doritos playing Halo.
That sounds like a dream come true. Gosh,
Yeah.
that was the
Not
time
to mention,
do it.
not to mention the multiplayer online, the competitive aspect of it. You can play even on the original. You could play Xbox Live online, although that's done now. But with Master Chief Collection, you can go back. You can relive your Halo 2 memories playing it online with enhanced graphics now too. It's awesome.
It's so fun. Highly recommend Halo series to everybody. Now, the next 3 games we have, I would describe them as games for non-gamers. Is that a good, if you want to bring a game into someone's life that doesn't play a lot of video games but makes them feel comfortable still and have fun, these are some cool options for you.
Yeah, some people are stuck at home with with a significant other that doesn't really play video games, not really into video games. There are some that you can still play with this person that will bring you closer together and make you have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so the first one is Jackbox, which is really fun.
And there's 6 of them now, right?
Yeah, there's so many Jackbox games. And you just need your phone and then a friends with phones and then a TV screen. You can play this at home. You can play this on Twitch or on Zoom or on Google Hangouts or wherever you want to play the game. This is where you can play it. And it's so fun. And I feel like it's really good for people to connect to because it's mostly just trivia.
Yeah, there's a lot of trivia games. There's a lot of making other people laugh. Can you come up with funny lines? There's and each pack, there's 6 packs, and each one has 4 or 5 different games in it. And they're all pretty fun for the most part. And the genius thing of Jackbox is, like you said, you only need your phone. So if you've got somebody who doesn't play games and you hand them a controller, they're going to be like, what is this? I don't even want to try. But everybody knows how to use a phone. And so you hand them a phone. They don't even have to download an app. They just go to jackbox.tv, type in the code that's up on the TV screen, and they're in. They're playing the game with you. And so it becomes it transcends hardcore video game players and just becomes a fun game to play with your friends, like any board game or charades or something like that,
Yeah. Speaking of board games and charades, the next two we have is Cards Against Humanity put out a digital version of their game. Did you know this? This is like a new thing.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, my wonderful girlfriend played it tonight, and she had a really good time. It sounded like super fun. There was definitely some wonky things with it, I think. Like, you can't do some of the cards the right way because there's not enough people, like, in a room together. But you could still have fun with it. So I wanted to throw it on the list because people like Cards Against Humanity, and it should be something that's on here. So there you go. The second
highly
one...
offensive. The game is highly offensive, by the way. But very funny.
Yeah. Tabletop Simulator. I don't know anything about this, but you opened my eyes to this, Tyler.
Yeah. So full disclosure, I have never played anything with Tabletop Simulator, so I'm bound to get something wrong here. But I love the idea of it, and basically what it is like a sandbox, and it has a lot of built-in games, and you can sort of import games too. But it's sort of a sandbox for you to play any game that you can sit at a table and play with your friends. You can play with Tabletop Simulator. So people have, you can import games online, like you can make your own custom assets. So if you have a board game that you really want to play with your friends, you can, if you want to take the time and build it inside of Tabletop Simulator, you can then play it with your friends. And it's just super cool. Plus you can play it in VR, which sort of even makes you feel a little bit more like you're there with your friends as well.
We're all here in this digital world together.
Yeah. So like you can play Dungeons and Dragons games on there. You can play card games on there. You can play board games. Like there's all kinds of stuff. And it's like $20 on Steam. And it's just awesome. It's just a really cool idea. Like I said, I've never played it before, but it's just a really neat idea. And I know a lot of people that do play it and have a lot of fun with it.
That's super cool. Yeah, I got to talk to my D&D group about that because that might be a way we do it. Because it's been kind of weird lately. You know, we've been playing on Google Hangouts and it's fun, but it just could be better. You know,
yeah.
Really
and there's something about having those the game pieces. You know, like I guess Dungeons and Dragons you could play without those kinds of things. But it really adds to it, right? If you can have
really
those
does. There. We bought, well, actually not bought. We've 3D printed so many things for our D&D group. It's pretty insane. But yeah, it would be nice to have that again because it's fun to see like a table. Right now, my friend sticks his camera on a game mat so we can still see the minis, but we all have to like lock that camera on Google Hangouts when we're in fights to see where everyone's at and be like, can you move me this way? It's a good one though. I'm going to look into that way more because that's really, really, really cool that they have that on there. The last category, well, the second to last category we have actually is MMORPGs or online multiplayer games. Because let's face it, like if now is the time to get into an MMO, I feel like. And there is no more talked about MMO on this podcast than Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, near and dear to my heart. I haven't played it in quite a while. I mean, I let my subscription lapse, but sorry, I just got over a coughing fit, so I'm like still recovering. Hang on.
Are you okay? Are you all right? Oh no, we're not going to edit this out because I want the listener to know how much I care about you.
I do have a strategic mute button that I can hit. Yeah, no, I just took a drink of my LaCroix and I couldn't do it. You know, sometimes you take a drink and you just can't do it, and you just have to sit and cough for a minute. So
yeah. Some people are like, Mike, you don't really care about Tyler. You don't want to edit. I'm like, that's half not true. You know, I care about Tyler, but I also don't want to edit. So that's what we're doing right now. It's inside. Physical distancing.
That's physical. Right. That is A-okay with me. Anyway, Final Fantasy XIV, and I think this extends to any sort of like MMO, like World of Warcraft or something like that too, is you sit there by yourself playing at your computer, but you're hanging out with so many people all in the same world. And this is the perfect time to get your guild together, get your static group together. That's what they're called in Final Fantasy XIV. If you have a group of people that you play with often, like clearing raids and stuff, called a static. Get together, start doing those super hard difficulty raids, those savage level raids, right? Learn the mechanics. You got a lot of time right now. You should do it. And you get to hang out with your friends. Even though you're physically far apart, you can still talk to each other, make jokes, make memes. It's a great time.
Can you ride chocobos in that?
Yes, you can. Thank you for asking, Mike. There are so many chocobos you can ride.
All the more reason to play Final Fantasy XIV. The next game in our list, and I didn't know where to put this because this could be put in any one of the categories. It has all of these things, but I play it online with friends, and it's a lot like a phone call now. Minecraft. I love Minecraft. I played it since alpha in like 2011, I think is how long I've been playing it, or 2012. Whenever it came out in alpha, I played it then.
Nearly a decade.
Yeah, and I loved it then. I love it now. I play with my friends, and it's essentially just us talking on the phone for like an hour or two while we build something stupid or just waste our time. But it's really fun, and it's a great way to connect with people. Also a very simple video game. Like if you want to teach someone to get better at playing a video game, or if they were interested in video games but they're not sure, have them co-op Minecraft with you, because you can split screen, I'm pretty sure, on it. So do that.
It's a great one to play with kids too. So if you're stuck in the house with kids who aren't going to school, Minecraft is awesome because it will occupy them, and also it flexes their creative muscles because you can build stuff in it. It's kind of like what I've noticed about this is that it feels like it's the modern Legos. You know, we used to all play with Legos when we were kids. Like Minecraft is like modern Legos, and so there's a lot of learning and a lot of thinking and problem solving that happens in that game that is good for kids, I think.
Also, the chances are they probably know more about the game than you do.
That's true. If you got kids, they probably already are playing it.
Kids love Minecraft. The next game on there, a lot like this phone call aspect of a game, and I've played it for about a solid couple months, I would say, with friends. Sea of Thieves. Really
I haven't
fun.
spent any time in Sea of Thieves. Tell me about it.
It's really cool. Like when it first came out, when I played it when it first came out, it was just a lot of fetch quests and going and getting gold for no reason except to buy cosmetics. And they've added so much into the game to make it like you can hunt a kraken. There's like these pirate raid things you can do with your friends. All on top of that, you're still fighting other boats of real people on the high seas. It's really fun, but really there's a lot of like funny moments that are made in Sea of Thieves. Like it's just a silly game that doesn't take itself too seriously. And I really enjoy it, and I think it's really fun to play with friends as like a very casual gaming experience to talk and catch up.
So it's like Pirate Ship Simulator. You get to be a group of swashbucklers.
You could like shoot yourself out of a cannon, so that's a funny thing. And then also, if you like lose all your treasure, it really doesn't matter. You know, like none of it really matters. And that's what's fun about it to me.
That sounds awesome, and it's on Game Pass, right?
It is on Game Pass, so you got to have Xbox as of right now. It's an Xbox exclusive, but it's
also on PC.
Oh yeah, it's a PC and Xbox exclusive because of the way Game Pass works. You are correct. It's great. The last one on our list is one we talk about probably every episode, and it's Destiny. Is there more of a conversation starter than having to go out and grab 1,700 dreg butts? Didn't think there was.
No,
until Destiny came along. That's right.
Yeah.
Play Destiny with friends. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Destiny is such a good hobby game, right? There's just always something to chase. There's always something new to do, and it's so much fun. And if you can get a group of people together to do one of the 6-person raids, there are very few things in video gaming more satisfying than completing a raid encounter after bashing your head against the wall for like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. And we've actually did a call to action on here, got some responses, but we're trying to get that thing going still. You know, that fun. The problem was consoles, I think. We had a lot of people be like, you have a PlayStation? We're like, no. We don't have it on PlayStation, unfortunately. But we really want to get that Destiny raid group together. That'd be really fun. But it's a great time.
I would love to play the original Destiny, too. I really want to get some raiding done there. I should fire that up and level my character.
Yeah. That's where the call-out was, I think, to the original Destiny. Yeah, we got to do it there. It's all on Xbox. If you play original Destiny on Xbox, get at us because we want to do it. And I want to install that game again.
I need some power leveling, I think, because I'm very, very low level and I'm not quite the 400 I need to be to do the new raids.
Because of the nature of it, we could play Vault of Glass at the very base mode it started, and you could be way over leveled for it. Just to get the items. Because if you played like all of the campaign, you'd be so over leveled for intro Vault of Glass, it wouldn't even be funny. So it's like we could still play Vault of Glass and all be super power leveled and just have fun playing it as a group. That would be the way to go.
I have played through the vanilla campaign, so I haven't played any of the like House of Wolves or Dark Below. Anything after that, I haven't played any of that, but I have played the original.
Do you have those?
Yes, I do. I bought the Destiny collection, so I have Taken King and Rise of Iron. I just haven't played them.
You're gonna have so much fun. Those are actually really fun, like story things. I had a good time with those, especially Taken King. Taken King's really fun. But now, the last big category of our whole list is something very important that we talk about on this podcast a lot, and that is your backlog.
That's right. Now
we
is
all
the
have
time.
Backlogs.
Yep. And so all those games that you say And this is a part where you're going to have to look into your heart and decide what is truly valuable to you when you're playing video games. All those games that you say someday when I have time, which is always years off into the future, maybe when you retire, right? Someday I'm going to have time and I'm going to go back and I'm going to play all these games that I missed. It's time. I'm going to play these retro games that I missed, right? I'm going to play all these old games that I've always wanted to play, but I just never have the time. If there is going to be any time to do that, that time is right now. So look into your heart and decide, are these the games you really want to play? Because if they're not, take them off your backlog. Stop stressing about them, you know? If they are, now's the time to play them.
That's great advice. You don't want to play games you don't want to play.
That's right.
Especially ones like I get like out of the mood for them, you know, like I'm in the mood to play them and I'm out of the mood to play them. And I've finally gotten to the point where I just uninstall them. Just uninstall them. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. I need to update my Trello board though, because I've beaten a lot of games that I want to move over to the beaten column because that feels good.
I keep my Trello board very up to date.
Also, a fun thing to do too is to play like retro games now. Like if you have like a Switch with online on it, so you can play older like Super Nintendo or NES games, or if you got one of those classic consoles, or even if you actually have the old console, fire it up. Have some fun. You know, there's a lot of fun games out there to play.
If you want like a project thing to do, like you're kind of handy with technology stuff, buy a Raspberry Pi and make a retro Pi station that can play all kinds of games that you of course legally own, right? But you could have them all centrally located in one place. That's a lot of fun, and I think the building of the Raspberry Pi and the installing the software and getting it all working is a fun piece to it for me too. So I think now is the time to do that, and then you can play so many games that you've been talking about playing but just never really got around to. Right now, my backlog of games that I'm trying to play through, that was like someday I'll play through all these games. I'm playing the Call of Duty series right now. I'm about halfway through the first Call of Duty game, and I plan to keep going with it, at least, you know, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, because, man, those old Call of Duty campaigns were really fun.
Yeah. The first one is kind of rough. It definitely feels old. I think they really pick up at the second one.
Call of Duty 2? That's a pretty, like, famous game at this point. That kind of put Call of Duty on the map.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, Call of Duty 2 is the Call of Duty. That's Call of Duty that made me a Call of Duty fan.
Nice. Well, this was kind of a shorter episode this week, I think, but it was worthwhile because we want to let everyone know, like, this is definitely a great time for video games.
Yeah, this is everybody's talking about how they can't go out. It's so sad, and like, as gamers, this is the day we've been training for. So don't squander it. You know, if there's anything good to be taken out of the situation that we're currently in, is you can play a lot of video games right now. So
yeah, it feels to me like one of those war movies where they're like, remember your training as they go into battle, and then you just close your front door and turn on your system and just play whatever you want to play. Yeah. Like, so thank you so much for listening. As always, we really thank you for listening, and it's great. It's great to have an audience. It's mind-blowing still. Tyler and I are forever grateful to you. But thank you also to those people who've rated, reviewed, and subscribed to us wherever you listen. Feels so good. And thank you to people who've emailed us. I have not gotten caught up on emails this week. It's entirely my fault. Do not blame Tyler. Blame me. So we will be doing emails next week, if that's okay with you, Tyler. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So we'll be reading all those emails next week. And then with that, just stay safe. And thank you so much for listening. Do you want to say bye to anybody, Tyler?
Yeah, goodbye, everybody.